I don't think computers are any longer for the purpose of having getting a job done or educational purposes or anything like that. I really think they're the invention of crime. I think that they're here to track everything and everyone, and that's not all bad, but I think that it can be used by almost anyone as a weapon. And in computer technology, they call this a form of munitions. So if computers are used as a weapon, um, you're a guilty person. Uh, and that means that you're just doing things in general that are generally against the call of duty or the knowledge that people acquire in order to be fact based in the system of learning or education or communications. So this is a derogatory. It just means that you could be robbing yourself by telling lies in communications fraud, that you're going to wreck your own future by telling people how to do things or controlling or limiting their communications or their understanding or anything like that. And we know it's all quantum, um, like of the matrix or the nexus or anything like that, or any science of quantumness, aliens, people, biology, physics, chemistry, um, all parts, crime, the law, what's humane, what's not humane. The law is supposed to be a humane thing. So like when you screw with somebody's communications, you're screwing with their life today because it's also a requirement. It's becoming a subsidy. It's becoming a necessary thing for people to function in today's world. It's called communications. And you really can't just you really need a license in order to do certain communications today, and especially like behind the scenes technological programming and things like that. It's getting to where if you screw up somebody's systems, um, you could get in deep trouble, and that's not good. Screwing up computers or messing anything up, that's really bad. So, like, before you ever develop a piece of software or modify a computer or anything like that, be really careful about releasing that as an object for sale. You can't really sell these objects. Okay, there's the learning environment, which many people still do at home. They learn at home. But then there's the commercial environment or the governmental environment where you can't just put something out there for people to have. Now, you might be able to teach them something about it. It might be acknowledged and learned about. You can't actively produce it. That's the key ingredient. Before you ever produce anything, you got to know a lot about the synchronization of the quantum field, because that quantum field is getting people into serious trouble nowadays. We're looking too deep into what is quantum about our humane society, if you will, our what you call humanistic ways. Sometimes, yes, we do need to go seriously quantum on things, but like in the spirit of life, so to speak, not so much spiritualism. Spiritualism is frowned upon nowadays because it's we just have to keep things tied down and be appreciated by other people under the laws of our experiences and our age and our time of reference and things like that. You just trust me, we have to create a system that protects people. So it wouldn't be a good idea just to do anything for any reason, just to mount it outside into the public free, unless, you're an expert. But I asked, are there any really 100% fact based, 100% quantum experts? I don't think that there's a perfect one ever in this world. Now, we still know that there's so much limited information right now, but it all comes down to a thing called the God equation. It's actually a form of geometry that is calculable with a supercomputer or a series of supercomputers that allow us to calculate geometry in all of its forms so that we can show how it exists in all of nature and how it moves and how it becomes a vector or a matrix vector. And this is called the God equation. This is the true God equation. Okay, but anything else is pretty subordinate. But the God equation is about the matrix vector of geometry. And it has to have volume and particles and magnetism and motion and empty space. These are the 5 laws that govern all that we will ever do in the universe. Life itself, all existence is governed by these laws for eternity. So it's just pretty simple that you have to follow that rule. It's just a rule. It's just general. So I mean, it gets really specific. There are sub laws that take a tangent into the virtues of the unknown. There are extremely high order golden rules. They're extremely things can get extreme, but we don't want them to. Extreme things are beyond our capacity right now. We're still learning about that. So we shouldn't be playing with large devices, large machines. We should never be playing with like anything beyond the scope of radio stations. We shouldn't even be playing